Hello, Phil here and welcome to another live stream Tuesday. This is the time of the week that I go live and play a few videos and also go through some requests that we've had over on Patreon. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to have some people in the house tonight because at the weekend here in England, we went an hour into the past with our time. So it's going to be a slightly different time for some people, but hopefully you guys can tune in. And we've already got Carla and Beach Girl and Renee and Carl and Michelle and Kathy and Luan and Renee and Laurie and Jeff and all of you guys in the house. Thank you so much for joining me on this Tuesday night. And it's good that there are some people here because I wasn't sure with the time difference whether it was going to work out. But I did make an event for this live stream, so hopefully that popped up for some of you guys and you could figure out what was going on with the timings. So without further ado, let me get you guys actually up on screen so we can see what you guys are all saying. So hello, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And I'm also going to mention the names of my patrons whose names go along the bottom of the screen throughout this whole live stream. So we'll get those going because these people make every live stream but also every video that I do on YouTube possible. So thank you guys so much for that. And while I'm talking, we've had a donation already, and this is from Rose. And Rose, thank you so much, a $10 donation. Rose says, "This is for your hard work and great analysis this past week, hoping the YouTube gods smile on tonight's stream." Thank you so much for that, Rose. Fingers crossed they will, and we might go through uninterrupted. You never know, but we'll see, because last week we did have an interruption, but in the full live stream to then watch it on the catch-up version of it, it had cut out the black screen, so it just seamlessly goes through. But there was about 2 minutes last week where we were technically offline, but not really offline. It was still working, but YouTube for some reason had a bit of a problem. But we'll see what happens this week. So if we can leave a like as you come through the door, that would be massively appreciated. Last week we hit our target of 300 likes for the live stream, so we're going to see if we can achieve those dizzy heights again, because it's just a crazy amount of likes. But we will see, fingers crossed, if we can start a really early spike of the likes just 3 minutes almost into the live stream, then that would be amazing. So I'm going to get into the first video of the night, and this was requested over on Patreon. As always, I tell my patrons that I'm going to be going live in an hour or half an hour, depending on how organised I am. I was a little bit more organised tonight, so I could give you guys a little bit more of a warning. But this is going to be my track called Percy Johnson, and this was requested by Mario over on Patreon. And whenever Mario is in the house, in the comments section, we all say hello Mario, but I haven't seen Mario yet, so if somebody does see him pop up, then start the hellos in that comment section. But we're going to jump straight into this video, and I'll see you guys after this. I'm always in the comment section while these videos are going on. And just quickly, I've seen Linda pop up on the super chat donation. Thank you so much for that, Linda, $5. And Linda says what Rose said, so thank you, Linda, for that. And we've had another one, and it's Mark, who's donated $4.99. Thank you, Mark, and he's got an emoticon type thing doing a mic drop, so thank you for that, Mark. And that was $4.99. We've had Carla as well, who's donated $9.99. So thank you so much for that, Carla. It looks like on the screen I've just chopped your head in half, so apologies for that. But I will sort that out whilst this video is going, and then maybe I'll be able to scroll down. Hopefully I will be able to scroll down and it hasn't frozen in that position, but we will see after this. So we'll be getting back into the super chat donation after this video. I'm going to be in the comment section as always whilst the videos are playing, but this was requested by Mario, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock! So that was my track called Percy Johnson as requested by Mario, and I believe Mario is in the comment section somewhere, so we all say hello to Mario, and thank you everybody for joining me tonight. As you might be able to see on the screen, in the super chat donations, for some reason YouTube is not letting me scroll down, so it's cutting off the messages underneath. But backtracking, we did have a message from Carla which has now come up, and thank you Carla again. And the message was, by the way, Sandy L left a donation, $5 in pre-live. She couldn't make the live, and then a peace hand sign. So thank you Carla for that, and thank you Sandy if you're watching this on catch up later on. Thank you so much for that $5 donation. And then we had Michaeline, who has donated $4.99, and she said morning Phil. So morning Michaeline is very early morning here, 10 past 12, but technically it's correct. I don't know what the time is where all of you guys are, but I'm sure we've got some seriously different time zones going on. And then Lisa has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Lisa. And the message is, we have been talking about Halloween in the pre-chat. What did you dress up as when you were a kid? And unfortunately, Halloween wasn't really a day when I did anything. If anything, we were trying to avoid people knocking on the door, so my mum would turn all the lights out, and still does, to make sure that nobody answers the door or they think that everybody's out. So it's almost like a Scrooge version of Halloween. That I think a female version of that is probably my mum, so whatever that is, we have to invent some anti-Halloween person. So I didn't really do much Halloween, unfortunately. I didn't dress up as anything, and I can't remember going out and getting any candy. As you say in the USA, we call them sweets here. So unfortunately didn't really do much on Halloween, so how boring is that? But anyway, thank you for the message, Lisa, and for the donation of $10. And then Pam has donated $19.99. Thank you, Pam. And the message is, please play Don't Cry in light of my cousin's passing. I'm heartbroken. So thank you for the donation, Pam, and very sad news. I'm really sorry to hear that, and I definitely will play that in the show tonight for you, Pam. And thank you so much for joining me on this night as well. And condolences for what's happened, and I think everybody in the comment section will also say the same thing. So sorry to hear about that, Pam. And another donation has just come in after that, and that's Lynn. So, and it's $50. Thank you so much for that, Lynn. And the message is, please play Don't Cry for Pam. So I definitely will do that. I'm not sure if it's queued up, but I will do that during another video so we can get that on the show tonight. And we just had another donation that's just come in as well, and it's Rhiannon, who has donated $10. And an interesting story about Rhiannon is that she was my first ever patron on Patreon. So all of these names at the bottom, it all started with Rhiannon, who was the first person to ever take a gamble on me as a musician and an artist. So thank you so much for your support, Rhiannon, all the way back when I started so long ago over on Patreon. Massively appreciated, and thank you to everybody who has joined since, because like I said at the beginning of these live streams, you are the reason that this is happening. So it's all because of you guys. Thank you so much. And we've had a couple more donations. Jerry Garcia has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Jerry. And Bob has donated $5. And the message is, hi from Vancouver Island, British Columbia. Check out Midnight Special Hall and Oates. She's gone / Sarah Smile / Rich Girl 1977 sometime. So thank you for that donation, Bob. And I will make a note of that suggestion, and if that's a request for an analysis video, it'll go on that list and I will get to that. So we've had another donation just under that, so thank you, Bob. But then Jen has donated $5 as well, and if there is a message with that, I think it's been cut off, but I can click on it manually, so you'll have to wait for me to organize myself a little bit, because the message from Jen is, if you could dress up now What would your costume be? Now you put me on the spot. I don't know. Probably Ghostbusters, even though that doesn't really count. I guess it does count because it's ghosts, but being a Ghostbuster, I was a massive fan of that when I was a kid, and I had the station and the car and everything. I had the figures, and they had this little plastic thing on their back, which was obviously their guns. They're not actual guns. The name of them, proton packs. I was going to say the name of it eludes me, but they had the proton packs on their back, and it had a little bit of plastic and a wavy line that came out of it, and I loved those toys. And it was on today, so I watched a bit of the Ghostbusters today. And also, if you've watched Stranger Things, that's what they dress up as when it's Halloween, and I was watching some of that quite recently. So Ghostbusters is what I'd have to dress up as, and probably, I don't know, maybe Egon, but I don't know. It's even though, you know, Bill Murray is such a legend, maybe I'd have to decide on which character, but I'd maybe pull it out of a hat. But anyway, thank you so much for that donation and the question, Jen, as well. And then we've got Janice, who has just joined in, and the donation's $50. Thank you so much for that, Janice. The message is, can't believe I missed last week. Work gets in the way. So no problem, Janice. Thanks for making it tonight. Thank you everybody for joining in tonight, and thank you so much for a crazy donation from Janice. $50. Thank you so much. As I always say, if you do accidentally donate too much, then we can sort it out after the live stream. It's no problem at all. So if you get to hit that thumbs up as well, it would be massively appreciated, because we're trying to get up to 300 likes for tonight's live stream. That is somehow the new goal on live stream Tuesdays. It used to be 100, and before that maybe 50, and then maybe like 10, because so many other people are joining me tonight, and we've got such an awesome comment section. So thank you guys all for joining in tonight. And for my deputies and my sheriff in there, we've got so many people in here tonight. Maybe, I think we might be okay, because the law enforcement in the comment section are pretty good, and thank you guys for doing all of that. I'm not sure that I've seen Neil yet, but we've got Laurie in there. I think I saw Kathy as well, so thank you guys so much, and Carla right at the beginning, for keeping an eye on the comment section. So we're going to be jumping into the next video, and I'm going to use this video to then get the Don't Cry video up on this particular live stream, because like I said, I haven't set it up like that, but hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to get that sorted. And this was a request, and this was a song that hasn't really been requested a lot. It's a cover I did of a track called Hero, which is from the Spider-Man movie, and it was Chad Kroeger who did it, and it was outside of his Nickelback thing. It was just something that he did on the side. So this was requested over on Patreon. I hope you guys enjoy this, and as if by magic, I'm going to turn on the like and subscribe light. I might be able to even do this live if it works. Yeah, there we go. So that's something that I always forget to do something, and that was the something for this week. But like and subscribe, and thank you guys, everybody who has liked and subscribed so far, and hit that thumbs up button for tonight. Just quickly before I start this video, we've had another donation, and it was Denise who has donated $5. Thank you so much for that donation, and there isn't a message on my screen at the moment, but if there is, I will try and get to the bottom of it and find if there is a message with that. So we're going to get into this video, and I'm going to try and queue up that other video for later in the show, Don't Cry, which will be played for Pam. So I'm going to see you guys in the comment section while this is playing, and I'll see you after the video's finished. And there's going to be a little bit at the end of the video that I give a shout out to my patrons who I had at the time of making this video. And it's always interesting to look back at my various states of hair. I think this time it looks like I've been dragged through a bush backwards, but we will see. You'll know what I'm talking about when we get to the end of this video. So I'll see you guys after this. Rock. I can hear heaven. I'm so high, I can hear heaven. But heaven, no heaven, don't hear me. They say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. Hold on to the wings of the eagles and watch as they all fly away. Someone told me love will all save us. But how can that be? Look what love gave us. A world full of killing, blood spilling, the would never came. They say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. Hold on to the wings of the eagles, watch as they all fly away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now that the world isn't ending, it's love that I'm sending to you. It isn't the love of a hero, and that's why I fear it won't do. They say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. Hold on to the wings of the eagles, watch as they all fly away. They're watching us, they're watching us, as we all fly away. They're watching us, they're watching us, as we all fly away. They're watching us, they're watching us, as we all fly away. Whoa. Hello, Phil here, and thank you so much for watching my cover of Hero. This one's by Chad Kroeger from Nickelback, and it's from the Spider-Man film. If you're wondering who these people are here, these are the most awesome, amazing people in the world. They're my patrons. Thank you guys for your support, it's massively appreciated, and for making videos like this possible. If you want to get involved yourself, head to the website down here. But if I don't see you on Patreon or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or YouTube, then I'll see you at the next cover video. So I'll catch you guys later. Rock. So that was my cover of Hero. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I do have a track called Hero myself, so important not to get those too confused. But during that as well, we had a few more donations, and just to let you guys know that on the screen, for some reason, we do have a little bit of an issue. YouTube's not letting it scroll all the way down to the bottom. But we have had a few more. The message that came through with Denise, and that was $5, was, "Hey Phil, hair is looking good tonight. Great effort and analysis on all videos. A treat to watch you." So thank you, Denise, for that message and the kind words, and for the $5 donation. And underneath that, we had another donation, and this is from Ian, and it's a $50 donation. Thank you so much, Ian, for that. The message is, "Awesome work as usual, Phil. What was the last vinyl record you bought, if any?" I can't remember buying a vinyl record, because it was my dad's domain. He used to have this old turntable that wasn't really old, actually it's quite fancy, because you got the levels of output that were lights and they flashed up and down, and it was all very cool looking. But there we had Boston, we had Michael Jackson in there, we had Jimi Hendrix, of course, lots of Jimi Hendrix, some Van Halen, and so many different vinyls that I could just go through. I'm not sure really that I was fully allowed to do it, but I would have a little look through those anyway. And in terms of buying them, I haven't purchased them myself, but certainly have listened to a lot when I was a kid, because those were at my disposal, even though, like I said, I probably wasn't allowed. There were a lot of Beatles records as well, because my dad was especially into them. So yes, as is everybody, Beatles are a band that I think everybody is into at some point in their lives, and for me, maybe fortunately, I was exposed to the Beatles from very early on, so it might have helped in that subconscious way of making music and playing and knowing what the standard is that you're trying to aim for in terms of songwriting, because they're just crazy in terms of just prolific hit writers. But anyway, getting back to this live stream and not talking about the Beatles, because I could be here all night. Ian, thank you so much for that donation. We also had a donation from James, and I can't see the message underneath this, but I will find it so that I can read out whatever James has written underneath that $5 donation. I don't know why YouTube isn't letting everything show on the screen. It's just cutting off the bottom for some reason, and that's across all of the browsers. I've got 3 open and it's all the same, so it's not a problem with my screen. Unfortunately, it's YouTube. But anyway, James, thank you for that $5 donation. I'll get to your message if there is one underneath that. So if you guys can hit that thumbs up as well, that would be massively appreciated, because we are aiming for 300 likes for tonight's live stream, and hopefully we will get there, fingers crossed. If we could get a spike of the likes in the 26th minute of the live stream, that would be really cool. Anyway, what has been happening over the last week? We've had a major analysis video that you guys have probably seen when I teamed up with the one, the only Frank Marino, who we had a look at his trailer, because he's got a DVD Blu-ray that has just come out, and you guys want to get your hands on that because it's amazing. There's 6 hours worth of just fantastic performances on there. So Frank and I were going through that and talking about lots of different things, and like I mentioned in the video, I'm going to probably release lots of different videos, different things that Frank and I were talking about, because we spoke about the music industry, about guitars, about effects, and so many different things that we spoke for 4 hours. And then it was after 3 hours that we then decided maybe we should do this analysis video, which is the whole reason that we're doing this in the first place. But because Frank is such a cool guy and has got so much time to talk about music and techniques and his experiences playing the guitar, but obviously playing in a music industry at the time, the 70s and the 80s, that really is the same as now, about people that are signing away their lives and really getting a bad deal, if any deal, from record labels. But we go through a lot of that, and there are so many different things that we talk about, especially about his DVD Blu-ray and the process to actually get it done, and why it took so long for him to get it released. And it wasn't Frank's fault, it was something that was totally out of his control. But interesting stuff. I'll put those all in a video, and at some point maybe there'll be a little series that I can release on Patreon and also on YouTube, so you guys can see all of those other videos that Frank and I were talking about, all these different elements of the music industry. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to be getting into the next video, and this is going to be Art Not Commerce, one of my tracks that I did. I'm not sure whether it's going to be the live version. This is probably going to be the recorded album version from my album called Persistence, which you can find at wingsofpegasus.com/store, but then also you'll find it on iTunes and Amazon, and you can download it there. Obviously you can buy it on my website. My website's obviously for me the best place because I get to keep all of your wonderful support through the website, and iTunes and Amazon don't take their cut of it, whereas obviously if you buy through them, they'll take their percentage. But this is going to be the video of just when I'm walking for a very long time, and it certainly was a really hot day when I recorded this as well, just crazy hot for some reason, which isn't usually the case here in England, but it's just typical that whenever I want to do a really long walk for a video, that it's going to be really, really hot and uncomfortable. But anyway, we've just had another donation as well, and it's Mark who has donated $20. So thank you so much for that, Mark. I can't see a message at the moment with that, but if there is one, oh, here we go. It's just popped up for some reason. Please check out Bitter End by Veer Union. Much heart from Lisa. So thank you so much for that, Lisa, and the donation. And James's message has just come up, and we've got RIP Paul Berea of Little Feet. Phil, analyze some Little Feet for us soon. And I think Little Feet are on there, but certainly there's a good reason to revisit Little Feet. I think on the channel, if you just type in British guitarist and then Little Feet, the previous video should come up as the first what's it called? Search, the first found video in that search list, or the results is probably the word that I'm looking for, but you'll be able to find it in there, but certainly maybe something that I can get into in the future. But thank you, James, anyway, for that $5 donation and the message. Let's get into this next video, and then we're going to also have at the end of the show tonight Don't Cry for Pam, who requested it earlier, and we'll do all that at the end of the show. Hopefully it's going to work, fingers crossed. I think it is. So let's get into this. This is my track called Art Not Commerce, and I'll be in the comment section while this is playing, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock.
That I
And there we have it. That was my song called Art Not Commerce, right at the end, featuring those two dudes who I don't know who they are, but maybe I'll find out one day. I think they maybe messaged me on Twitter when I did this video many years ago, and unfortunately we've lost contact, but maybe I'll find out who they are in the future. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's a very long walk in uncomfortable shoes, unfortunately, and a very hot day, but that was an idea that I had for the video. When you don't really have any budget to do anything particularly massive in terms of some of the videos that you see with bands who just spend, well, the label spends about £1 million on their video. Unfortunately, I haven't got that kind of budget yet, but that was just one of those things that I decided to do. Just go for a massive walk and film it, and put the lyrics on screen as well so you guys can check it out. So anyway, during that as well, we did have a little bit of action in the super chat donations, and amazingly, the little bit of action that we had for some reason has now made it work. So now everything is showing on the screen and we can see the bottom of the super chat window. So thank you, YouTube, for sorting that out whilst that video was playing. And Mark has donated $20. Thank you so much for that, Mark. And the message is, please check out Bitter End by Via Union. Much heart, heart, heart from Lisa. So did I just say that, or did I not just say that? I can't remember whether I just said that. If I didn't, I'm having deja vu, because I think I mentioned Bitter End, but maybe I didn't. I'm probably just going crazy, and maybe it's because I read it, because it popped up and YouTube sorted itself out. So I read it already. That's what I'm thinking of. I didn't read it actually live on the live stream. So thank you, Mark, for that, and Lisa for the suggestion, and Mark for that donation. And thank you everybody for hitting that thumbs up button. I'm not sure how many likes we're up to, but we are aiming for 200 likes tonight, maybe 300. I think I set 300 as the target, so we're going to stick with that. I'm not sure how many we're up to yet. Maybe we're already past 200, and that could be 244. Thank you, Lisa, for mentioning that in the comment section. And we've just had another donation from Jen, and Jen has donated $5. And as you can see on the screen, what's going on, because it's cut off the message, but I did see what the message was. Now it's gone because it goes up through the comments, but thank you, Jen, for that. The message was for this song and the donation was $5, so thank you so much for that, Jen. And we've just had another donation as well, $2, and that was Aaron. And I'm not seeing the message underneath that. I'm going to have to scroll up in the comment section. And the message is, do a Warren Zevon songwriter video. So thank you for that, Aaron. I can add that to my list of videos to do in the future. Thank you for that donation as well. And everybody in the comment section, thank you for being such an amazing comment section, because I think rarely do the sheriff and her deputies have to get involved in the comment section, because we're such a cool bunch. And that goes for pretty much all of the analysis videos as well. It's such a nice place to be in the comment section, with people saying about experiences that they've had with some of the artists and gigs that they've attended, and just interesting things. And well, now that I've said it, I'm probably going to get some trolls over the next few days, but fortunately, touch wood, not too many trolls on the channel at the moment, and fingers crossed it'll continue into the future as well, because I think we're over 96,000 subscribers now. Thank you everybody for liking and subscribing the channel, because it's just getting up to a crazy number now, and I don't want to tempt fate by saying that we might hit 100,000, but 96,000 is just amazing as it is. So thank you guys for all liking and subscribing to the channel. We have had another donation, and this is Michaeline again, who's donated $4.99. Thank you, Michaeline. And the message is, got a jet. Roast is done. Night Phil. So, good night, Michaeline. Thanks for joining me up until this point, and go and enjoy your roast. And then we had Tennessee Moppy, who has also donated $10. Thank you so much. And let me give a plug for the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook, because if you want to get involved over there and join the discussion after the live stream with everybody else, then you can join that group, and Tennessee Moppy will allow you into that. So thank you for that $10 donation. And the message is, so what did you do with your extra hour from the time change? And you can probably predict what I'm going to say. Well, probably not, but I was doing my analysis video, and once I had made it and been through the whole process of uploading it to YouTube, it said that there was no audio. So I went back and I checked, and the process takes about an hour to get it up onto YouTube. So I realized there was no volume, no audio on the original file. So that was literally my hour that I was supposed to gain was taken up doing that particular video. And the second time I did it, the same thing happened. So I not only didn't make up an hour, I lost another hour, I think, in all, then trying to get the audio to work. So not a very exciting use of that hour, but unfortunately I think it's just typical that when the clocks do change and I'm supposed to gain an hour, my analysis video will take me an hour and a half longer. So I haven't actually gained anything. If anything, I'm behind the normal schedule. So yes, unfortunately not a very exciting story, but these are the things that just happen sometimes. You just got to suck it up and get on with it. But thank you so much to Tennessee Moppy for the $10 donation and for that question. And Linda has donated $5 as well. Thank you, Linda, for that. And the message is, what do you hope to be doing in 3 to 5 years? Hopefully I'm still going to be doing live stream Tuesday on a Tuesday, because it's something that I enjoy doing, and I don't think it'll ever change regardless of how big this channel gets. It might be the case that, I don't know, maybe it moves to TV or something. I can't predict what will happen in the future, but that'd be cool if I can do something with a TV show of analysis videos. I don't know. There has been interest in the past, and people do suggest it a lot in the comments section, but maybe that can happen in the future. Or something else with Frank Marino, who I did an analysis video with last week. He said that if he ever gets over to the UK to do a gig, that we will team up. So maybe in the future I'll be doing gigs with other artists and maybe getting out on the road with them and putting on some shows, because that would be a really cool thing to do as well, to go in that direction. And it's something that I'm very used to, playing live and performing in and around London for many years. So it'd be good to get out there and maybe do some shows with other artists, and that could well be happening in 3 to 5 years, but who knows? At the moment, I'm really happy with how things are going with you guys, and it will still be us in 3 to 5 years time. If you're still interested in spending your Tuesday nights with me, we'll see where we get to, and potentially how many followers and subscribers and likers we have at that point. It will be interesting to see, because I think we're 96,000 now, and it's been roughly about a year and a half of people checking out the channel regularly, so we'll see what happens. But Linda, thank you so much for that donation and for the message as well. And if you guys in the comment section can hit that thumbs up, it will really help to get this channel out there, but also to help promote these live streams and get more people in the comments section. So now, hopefully, fingers crossed, this is going to work. This was requested by Pam earlier in the live stream, who unfortunately has suffered the loss of her cousin recently. So our hearts go out to you, Pam, and I really hope that you enjoy this track. And this is my track called Don't Cry, for those of you that haven't heard it before, but I'm sure a lot of you have done. So this is for Pam and Don't Cry. Here we go, and I'll see you guys after this. So that was Don't Cry, and that was for Pam, whose cousin Jill unfortunately passed away recently, so that is for her memory, and Pam said that she would have liked it. So hopefully she is seeing it somewhere, because I'm sure that something happens afterwards, but nobody knows what happens after we're here, but I personally think that something does happen. But anyway, that's a discussion for a whole nother time and place, probably not on this channel, especially the kind of time that would go on for. But anyway, I hope you did enjoy that, Pam, and thank you for joining me tonight on this live stream. During that video as well, there were a couple of super chat donations. I didn't want to get it up on the screen because it was a dedication type video, so I didn't really think it was the right time to do that, but we'll get into those now. So we have had a donation from JB Wren. Thank you so much for that, $19.99. And the message is, thanks for all your hard work and for entertaining the masses. So thank you for your donation and for allowing me to even do this. Thank you everybody that does donate, and my patrons who are at the bottom of the screen as always, because you guys make this all possible. And then Lucy has donated $14.99, and the message is, hopefully you will be touring in America before 3 to 5 years. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we will see what happens.